Hello, my name is Ewe. I work for the TAG project and we're here today with Ewe Jones at Aberbranddy, and let's go have a look at what he's been doing here on the Ewe Nutrition workstream.
We've been part of the TAG project since 2008. We decided to try and join because the electronic tagging rules were coming in, and we decided to make the most of it since we had to electronically tag, that we could get as much information out of the ewes as possible by recording the sire and dam, and also getting as many weights as possible.
Ewe Jones is part of the Ewe Nutrition workstream, which has been added to the TAG project, which is now in its 6th year. In this workstream, we are looking at the condition score of the ewes throughout the year to see if this has an impact on lamb performance. Ewe is doing the very hard work of tagging lambs at birth and then linking them up to their mothers. Once this is done, we can build up a database of condition scores and ewe weights to see if this has an effect on lamb performance. All in all, there are 5 other farms on this workstream, and a total of 3,500 ewes will be condition scored throughout the year. Condition scoring takes place prior to tipping, scanning and just before lambing. Then 8 weeks post lambing we condition score the ewes as well as weigh the lambs. This is then done also at weaning time. Hopefully by the end of this summer we'll have some exciting results to share with you. So Ewe, how's things going with the project?
Yeah, it's going quite well. We're obviously still in the data collection phase at the moment, so we'll keep condition scoring them, and we're just hoping now we'll get some good results at the end. Obviously Leslie analysed the silage, and she's brought this ration forward that is going to balance out with the silage to give the sheep what they want then. But it was a bit of a shock to use a 34% cake because we've never used anything that powerful before. But
at the start, especially working with your dad as well, he was we were going through the ewes and I was picking out the ones that were condition score 3, which Leslie was saying that's where they should be, and your dad was strongly disagreeing with me and saying they were looking too well. Do you think that there's been any problems with that?
No, I think we've done all right this year not having ewes too fat, because obviously you don't want thin ewes, but you don't want fat ewes either, because you get problems at both ends of the scales. And the condition scoring has definitely helped us to have the information there. It focuses your mind on getting them more together then, and trying to give the thinner ewes a better place then. So we've got that information. It's more exact than if you were just drafting them through a race and doing it by eye. It's not always the best looking ewe produces the best looking lambs. An ewe that has 2 cracking lambs will obviously not be in as good condition herself, and it's a way of improving efficiency if you know what they've actually done rather than just looking at the ewe.
Leslie Stubbings' role in the workstream is in the process of data analysis and also in giving consultation advice for the farmers. What do you hope to achieve with this project in terms of results, Leslie?
Well, I hope that we can show that body condition is the underlying important, key performance indicator, KPI as we call them, to the success of a flock. I think when we did the pilot last year, there were the 3 farms involved, and we really just had from scanning through to weaning data. And that was really interesting because we had one of the best springs probably that we've had for years, you would agree, in Wales as well.
Yeah.
And what that showed was that actually the body condition score of the ewes at lambing, there was an opposite effect, so that the fitter ewes lost more condition, the thinner ewes kept pace and actually started to gain a little bit, but there was a lot of grass around. Now I think in a year where maybe we get a more normal spring, we would expect to see, of course, if the lean ewes haven't got enough to eat, they will struggle.
Yeah.
So one of the things about body condition that we're expecting to see is that it will, if you like, future-proof, bomb-proof. So it will take away this dreadful variable which is the weather, If your sheep are in the right condition at the right time, you are much less likely to run into problems should things happen weather-wise that we have no control over. But also, just simply that by body condition scoring and getting the majority of your flock in the right range at the right time, you stop having the animals at the bottom end that let you down. Everybody's in the right frame, then that should make things a lot more repeatable, a lot more predictable. And I think, we've already been talking to the farmers about their feeding this winter, haven't we? Vanalised all their forages. Many of them have got some really good quality forages, so they need to feed just a small amount of the right amount of supplement, usually adding protein. And two benefits there. One is it'll cost them less, but the second one is that feeding ewes and getting the best out of forage and not filling them full of concentrates like little pigs actually is better for them. They will perform better and we'll get better lambs.
Measuring fecal egg counts is an important part of maintaining good flock health. All of the Workstream farmers have been measuring their fecal egg counts with the new Techion FecPac Gen 2. Here is Adrian Thomas of Techion to tell us more about this.
It's very important for a lot of farmers to do fecal egg counting. We do fecal egg counting to assess the parasite burden within the live animal, and we help it to help decide when to treat, to target treatments to when it's needed and to what groups of sheep it's needed. Without FEC monitoring, the farmers who don't monitor, we know in the first instance will be often worming when it's actually not really required. And therefore we're wasting wormer, we're wasting money in the wormer and the time spent worming, and it also puts pressure on the development of resistance to that wormer. And secondly, and the flip argument to that, is a lot of times farmers won't be worming when it's actually needed, and therefore we're missing a significant worm burden. It means it's having an effect on performance, an effect on the pocket. And thirdly, and most importantly, we've recently seen in Wales that resistance is actually increasing, and it's increasing to more wormer groups than what we historically had. And that means that for a lot of farmers, we will often be using wormers that actually aren't fully effective and aren't fully working.
So can you show us how the FecPac Gen 2 works, Adrian?
Yeah, so this new FecPac system, the FecPac G2, which is the second generation of the FecPac system, makes it much more easy now for farmers to monitor fecal egg counts and do fecal egg counts on farm. And very simple for the farmer. The farmer simply grabs a sample of the feces. We then weigh using the scales. We add water. We crush and mix that very well with the water then. We measure out a certain amount into the cylinder. We then add saline solution to the cylinder. Then out of the filter, we pour some of the liquid then into the cassette, filling this cassette up. And the cassette then feeds into the micro-eye. So the micro-eye is a device that comes with a FecPac. The device is actually linked to a computer. The device just takes a picture of the sample, uploads a picture of the sample to the internet, so to the IT cloud. Somebody else, somewhere in the world, looks at that picture, accesses it from the internet, and counts the eggs, and then we send results back to the farmer with some decision support. And as long as a farmer can process a sample, which is a simple process, and then drive a computer to run the device, then it is very easy, and hopefully we'll get more farmers doing this and actually using it on a much more regular basis.
So now we know the full story. If you need to find anything out about this particular work stream or the work that's been carried out by the TAG project, or just about the Techion FecPac Gen 2, follow the links that are on the screen now.